Hi, this is Slosh. Welcome back to our third annual hot sauce and craft beer advent calendar. I spent the last half an hour, it is now 11:45. I spent the last half an hour trying to work out how to do this naked and pixelate everything. Then I realized if I held up sauce, I might not be able to pixelate around it. So I'm going to have a look into that later. So you might cop something like that later, but I don't think that's probably a very good idea. First things first, the darts night was amazing. It was one of the best nights that I've had in a really long time. The sense of community was fucking astonishing. Mama Cass ended up helping cook the barbecue for Grant. I brought a few sauces in. I brought in Master of Peppers for Michael Page for people to try. I brought in some Hellfire stuff. Pure Evil, I think it was. The Extreme Chili Head version. I'm not quite 100% sure. I brought in Pineapple Panic for Paul. So I brought a few of those things in. There was beer tasting, there was wine tasting, there was the spirits, the ones I got fascinated about the other night, the Pavlova one. It's indescribable. It's beyond words. And the espresso one, it's a vodka, but it literally feels like you are. It tastes and it's the same as having an espresso martini that's had all of that stuff extra added to it. I can't imagine what a proper espresso martini made with that would be like. It would be absolutely amazing. Number two, I've been recording trying to do the naked thing. I just sent it to Cass. She's out sanding chairs and doing Christmas lights. I just sent her the test footage and she said, ba ha ha, love ya, you knobhead. I'm going to respond, you want more, don't you, baby? This is actually happening while I'm doing this. I'm recording the advent calendar and telling them what we are talking about. Do you want to say anything to them right now? Let's see if she says anything. Anyway, the possible campaign we've been pushing, they made it. The Thorny Devil guys made it. So fucking well done. I don't know if our contribution helped in any way, but I am pretty stoked that they got what they were after. I'm going to get this a little bit higher. I want you higher. I want to get higher. Anyway, as always, we're going to start off with the Buuz Bud 2016 Advent Calendar. I don't think she's going to respond to us, I might ask. I'm serious, Cass. Do you want to say anything to the viewers? Don't worry, I put my clothes back on. This is really happening right now. By the way, see that picture in the background? I'll go grab it. She painted this in one afternoon for our live appearance. And we forgot to put it up because we were so frazzled by the whole thing. Come on, say something. She's ignoring me. Anyway, we're up to day number 11. And because it is 11:49, we're still making it. Oh, I haven't looked yet. I haven't looked. Mismatch! I met this dude at the Left Bank Beer Club. We met this dude. I was supposed to be catching up with you. I'm really sorry, man. I was supposed to be catching up with you and doing an interview with you. I'm stoked. Alright, do I have a bottle opener anymore? This is I'm gonna pour it. As I said, I have to take off my reading glasses because you have to take off your reading glasses to be able to read. So I'll pour this. Now, one of the cool things, I mean, look at that. I know I'm not necessarily using the right glass, but I'm back to the goblet because I just know I'm not going to spill it. That's the whole problem. I want this dreadlock to go back behind there so that it's not... Anyway, the Left Bank Beer Club, I think we paid $50 for that. Ah! He's stuck in my... He likes distracting me, that Meckins. The Left Bank Beer Club is a monthly thing, and the brewers... Look, I've done it again. Look, if I move this... up there, because I keep you keep looking at yourself. But they are, the Left Bank has once a month, the brewers come and they kind of present the beers. So you get like the story, the background of the brewing company, and the guy who was there for this one was a fucking amazing character, and I was supposed to catch up with him in November, but November was a bit of a mental month. So anyway, this is Mismatch Brewing Company's Extra Pale Ale, 330 mils, 5.8% ABV. Our XPA is a strong pale with the booze at the higher side of a pale ale, but lower end of an IPA. In our brewer's mind, this is an ode to the English ESB, but released in a US style with more booze and lots more hops. The malts are Maris Otter Medium Crystal. ABV, as I said, is 5.8%. 50 IBU, 20 EBC. Tell me what the EBC means. I've got no idea. Yeast is US Ale. Hops, Raku, New Zealand, Ruwaka, New Zealand, and El Dorado, US. Miscellaneous, unpasteurized, no preservatives, keep cold. Best before something. So I did meet the guy, the head brewer from this place, and he had a hell of a story to tell, and he was an absolute legend, and it was one of the more fun things. By the way, see this? See if I can get close and you can see it. See that? Mama Cass stabbed me. I was asleep on the couch. She reached over to do something with her big nails. She told me I was bleeding this morning. I didn't believe her. Anyway, Dingo Sauce Company. I thought I'd wear a sauce shirt instead of getting naked. So there you go. Let's give this a try. I remember that I really enjoyed this on the night. I mean, it's refreshing as hell. I dig the aftertaste. She just said, I can't think of what to say. I'm gonna have to deal with this woman. The viewers are getting impatient. They are listening to me talk about nonsense. How does this go? This is an odd thing that I'm doing. I'm just basically... you're seeing me just before bed, basically, every single night. By the way, in the last one, I think the last one was... I was talking about Tyrrell and the fertility idol that caused such problems when I knocked everything over with my big black fertility idol. I sent him a clip of the test of me testing my nudity. And he said to me... a little bit ago, he said, "Fuck, Josh, what the fuck? Lol." I wonder if you guys want to see the test footage. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe I'll ask Mama Cass. Although I did send that to her anyway. What was I going to say? This beer is... Look, this beer's 8 or 9. I'm going to give it 8 on flavour. It's fucking refreshing. It is... I mean... 5.8 isn't small in alcohol, and it's one of those things. On a hot summer's day, you've worked your ass off, you've cut some grass for those people who've been watching Beer O'Clock, and I mean, it's perfect. It goes down a treat. They're a little brewing company that's just trying to get off the ground, and like I said, I remember the dude was an absolute legend. I am so sorry that we didn't get back in touch. November was a hell of a month, but next time you're over, if we can organise something, I'd love to sit down and do an interview, because we are planning on doing interviews next year. All right. Darts night. We did a live Beer O'Clock with Slosh and Buuz. Not something we'd ever planned on doing. We certainly haven't done this to make it big and get famous. But being invited, even though I'm very shy and I get stage fright, and Buuz he's not, he's not like my brother who's a musical theatre. Like, I like being in front of a crowd. The more people, the better. Where I'm not those kind of people, even though it might seem a little bit different. We said yes to the idea when we were asked, because we thought, if we don't try, we'll never know. And then I thought about it today. I was thinking about the intro song to Beer O'Clock. That was written for me by Dan Louisel. I don't know how to say it properly. Who wrote Anne Heche's Butthole for Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman on Hollywood Babylon, which is what I found him through, who is an absolute legend for writing the themes for me, and I think I still owe him hot sauce, so I'm going to write that down. Cassie, remind me, hot sauce Anne Heche's Butthole. Thank you. She says she's putting up Christmas lights and sanding down antique chairs with her friend. Hopefully she understands what I mean by the hot sauce and Anne Heche's Butthole. I'm really doing this, by the way. All right, the live beer o'clock. We just said yes because we were like, if you guys want us there, we'll work out how to do this. Is, I mean, make things up as you go along and all that. But the night itself, it was such a sense of community because I know a lot of the people from the beer now, just through meeting people and just talking to people, not necessarily through the show, but just spending time at bottle shops, talking about stuff because we got to find themes and things like that. But also, there was it was a craft beer, wine, spirits, and hot sauce tasting, and all of the hot sauce people were people I know quite well. Matthew Price, who was there from The Forge, he's the one who makes the chili chocolate that we give away in the monthly competitions. One of the nicest dudes on the planet. You know, just literally, if everyone was like Matthew Price, there'd be no war. Everyone would be happy, and there'd be so much chili chocolate. I'd be set forever. But quite a few of my friends rocked up. Graham and Tennille rocked up. Space Peanut came. There was me and Cam, and Mama Cass was there. As I said, she ended up doing some of the cooking for the Mr. Sauces guy, who was wandering in and out. And it was just a really unique evening. Everyone was nice. Everyone was genuinely passionate about why they were there. A couple of the guys I work with at the Curtin Library, the library assistants, came because I posted it in that group. I never thought any of you guys would have come. So, Ashton, William, thanks for coming. I hope the old people weren't that boring, and I hope I didn't burn you too much. But thank you so much for coming. It blew my mind that you guys rocked up. It was fucking cool. It was really cool. I wasn't expecting it at all. And at the end of the night, we dragged a barrel over, and we got the guy who won the darts competition. Me and Cam came over and we said, you know, you've won the darts competition. We're supposed to be recording this thing. This is essentially what we do. Do you want to come be on camera? And he said yes. And I said, well, I'm Josh, but I call myself Slosh. He's Cam. He calls himself Buuz. What, you know, your name's Stu. What do you want to be? And he was like, well, Disco Stu. And it was just, he's Disco Stu. And he was an absolute champ. He sat between us. He had no idea what was going on, but he got involved. A couple of his jokes were fucking perfectly timed, and he was an absolute legend, and I was glad to meet him, just like everyone else I met that night. I was just glad to meet them. I came home with a real sense of community and belonging to something, which I know a lot of people these days are like, oh, whatever, you know, you've got the internet and all that stuff, but there's something about walking into a room and feeling welcome and feeling at home that you don't get very often. And Buuz and I and Mama Cass felt that last night, and those moments are few and far between. And I got to hang out with Chris and Roz again. I got to introduce Chris and Roz to Buuz, and that was a great moment in my life. But I've got to say, if you do ever watch the video, there's a moment at the beginning when I said to everybody, I said, we can't play the theme song for you. Can I, you know, I'd love it if you guys could just, you know, yell out tick, tick, tock, it's beer o'clock. We didn't try and get them to do the whole song or anything like that. We didn't think we'd get anybody. I know it was Chris and Roz that started it, but half the crowd, not the full crowd, you never get the full crowd, but half the crowd picked it up. And there's a moment in the video where you see me and Buuz look at each other and we're like, what the fuck is going on? How the hell have we ended up here? And it was awesome. I made these beer o'clock with Slosh and Buuz emergency drunkenly last night. I taught myself how to do this, just in case we froze live in front of people, And we could pick a random one. So I'll pick a random one from here. And I would get Buuz to pick one. So we picked a random one. And I didn't look for, I didn't spend a lot of time looking for all the different facts, but he would basically have read, beer is one of the world's... I can't do it like that. Beer is one of the world's oldest prepared beverages, possibly dating back to the early Neolithic... Or no. There's a really cool one. I'll actually just find the one. I like this one. Random beer fact. Old Vikings believed that in their heaven... I'm going to start that again. Random beer fact. Old Vikings believed that in their heaven, called Valhalla, there is a giant goat whose udders provided unlimited supplies of beer. So basically, we're going to build up a stack of Slosh and Buuz, Beer O'Clock, emergency cards. I don't know if we'll ever get to do another live show again, but just the fact that this silly little thing that we came up with has turned into something where we got to do that. Well, we got to do that, and we got to meet a lot of meet a lot of new people. And Disco Stew, you did a fuck of a job. Like I said, I'm recording. Oh, it's just gone to midnight. So the sauce we're going to do this time is King Hot Stuff, Smokey BBQ Jacks. Now, this is from one of the WA Chili Seed Exchange meats, and I'm pretty sure you can't buy it anywhere. Pretty sure it can't be bought anywhere at all. I brought my glasses last night too. Forgot to wear them. Brought Cassie's sign that she spent all afternoon making. Forgot to put it up. It's an interesting smell. Now, I think this might be one of those bottles that first nunnel, then the lottle. So I might actually do this down here. Oh, you are still recording. Good. Good. It looked like I'd clicked a button by accident. Come on. It is coming out. Sometimes you get these ones, and once you move the thing, I feel like I need to sneeze, and I really don't want to do it. Sorry, don't mean to sniff. Look, this isn't a really spicy one, so I'm just going to assume that that's enough to give you a taste. I know this isn't super spicy, so like the heat's not going to be something that we're going to be judging it on really anyway. I can't remember who made this, but this was one of the local guys. We've been doing a lot of local stuff in this advent calendar. I've been kind of stoked about that. Just the fact that we get to do mostly local stuff, get the Perth name out there. I'm still stoked for you guys at Thorny Devil. So on the 11th, this is actually happening on the right day. The 11th day of Christmas, Slosh tried King Hot Stuff's Smokey BBQ Jacks. So not for sale in a shop that there's no ingredients on it. Oh my god. It's just so smoky. It's got a little tiny kick of heat to it. Little tiny kick of heat. Just a little tiny kick. Like, I'd probably give it 1 on heat. But that on a Bunnings snag would be pretty incredible. Oh, Tyrrell's here. Let's see. I'll get him to talk. I'm currently recording live right now the advent calendar. Do you want to say anything to the viewers, especially after your big black dick almost broke all my stuff? He said, lol, no. No one wants to get involved. I'm actually typing and reading what I'm typing on video to see what happens. You can watch this happening tonight. Say something funny. Anyway, I'm not going to drag this on too long. This is already at 19 minutes. Look, I'm going to give this 9 on flavour. Okay. Tyrrell. Quote from Andrew Tyrrell. Beware the fertility dildo. I think he's... I'm going to let him finish it. Anyway, I'm going to give this 9 on taste. I'm going to give it 1 on heat because there's not much heat to it. This is a good beer. This is a good sauce. I had a fucking amazing night last night. It was one of those things that you never think is going to happen. That, I mean, I don't understand how I'm part of any of this, and all of this was. Is that everything? I'll read it out now. I'll read it out now then. This is weird. I wonder if we could turn this into a thing. If I had the internet speed to do this, I would actually do Facebook Live. I would do live streaming and stuff. Okay. So he said, yep, that's everything. So, Tyrrell, beware the fertility dildo. It'll come. You am a knockin'. And I mean, shit. Did you even see how much shit you broke? Well, I broke. I'm not going to keep talking to people. I'm going to pull this back together. But last night was fucking amazing. Buuz and I just would like to say thank you to everyone who, for some reason, enjoys watching and listening to our nonsense and us playing games with language, and just the fact that as we walked around last night, people were, hey, you guys are you do that show. It's always that show, because I assume we're the only people in Perth who do a beer review show, especially something like what we do with the long rambling nonsense. But the Christmas special is going to be going up on Christmas Day. The episode 4 of this run, of the December run of Beer O'Clock, is going to go up on Christmas Eve. Make sure you check that out. That's the first time we've ever done anything live in front of a crowd. I didn't do plays in high school. I didn't do plays in primary school. I barely did presentations at high school and at university. I am not the person to be up in front of people. And I think we did okay. I mean, nothing's ever perfect, but we got a few good jokes in there, and we got to do some filthy things, and we got to cross the line of good taste for a bit, and that was pretty good. So basically, this is a really, really late night thing, because I was trying to work out how I could film myself naked. The reason I'm not doing it is because if I held this up, it'd be pixelated, and you wouldn't be able to see it. I might even put the footage of the test footage of the nakedness afterwards. Maybe. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything. If you're still around, because I've been doing this every day. All right. If you're still around, I'll be right back. All right. This seems like a good one. If you're still around, take my reading glasses off, get my weird bear hat back on. Now, if I can find the bit in Jaws, this is Jaws. If I can find the bit that I'm looking for, that I don't think they put in the movie. Okay. He pushed a finger into one of the pink blotches on his thigh. There you go. If you're still watching, that line. I love the fact that you guys are, prepared to listen to me for that long. Like I said, give me questions. I'll answer questions. I'd be really keen on that. I've been enjoying doing this advent calendar so much. I'm going to kind of miss having this like daily thing. I don't know if I could maintain it as a daily thing forever. I think I'd probably die of tiredness. But if you guys are keen on something like this, just this, it's not Beer O'Clock, so we're not giving a lot of details on the beer, and it's not Slosh and Sauces, so I'm not really going to. It's actually more. It's turning into more of me rambling for almost 25 minutes. All right. I'm going to go because I'm trying to keep under that 24 minutes and 50 seconds, which I think is the record. I'm going to keep that the record. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything you've done so far. Check out the Patreon. If you want to chuck some money in, there's $5 levels for each of the different sections of what we do. There's a $1 jar, and we're working on some rewards and some merch. We're working on some merch. We're going to have some cool stuff coming up in the new year. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Stab wound. I got stabbed by Mama Cass's long fingernail. You're looking at a stabbed man. You're looking at a stabbed man who just... I'm doing this so I'll go over the 24 minutes. You're looking at a stabbed man who just spent 45 minutes trying to work out how to pixelate himself naked so that he could record this entire advent calendar naked without thinking about the fact you wouldn't be able to see the beer labels unless I held them at certain places. Sometimes I'm a smart man. Sometimes I'm really tired. Anyway, thank you for watching. Dingo hot sauce is awesome. I'm wearing clothes. Peace. I'll see you guys next time. And I'm going to do that thing because I'm not really editing these where I go, oh, I've got to look for that button. Where's that button that stops recording this? Is it over here? And maybe